What's happening, Costa Mesa? I'm Dane Bora. Today is Thursday, September 7th, and this is your Costa Mesa Minute on National, wait for it, National Beer Lovers Day. So I guess that means it's my day today. Nice. And yes, I know I have to share it with many of you, including Brad on the other side of the camera over there, and that's okay. Cheers. It's also Fearlessly Foolish Football Prediction Day. And unlike last week, when all three local teams played on different days, this week all three play tomorrow night, and all three host games here on their own campuses, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the first time ever that has happened. Remember, Costa Mesa just opened their on-campus stadium last year, and Davidson Field at Newport Harbor was under construction. And speaking of which, the Sailors get to play their first game at the newly renovated stadium, which, by the way, they will officially celebrate with a grand opening ceremony at 5 p.m. tomorrow prior to the Sailors' kickoff against a very good Chino Hills team. You may recall last week I mentioned the Sailors have an incredibly tough schedule, and in the Huskies they face a team that has made the playoffs the past 9 straight years and was known as a football school before the Ball brothers came along and made them a well-known basketball school across the country. The Sailors are hoping to rebound from last week's 33-7 loss at Pacifica, but I don't think it happens tomorrow night. Despite the thrill of playing on campus for the first time in a long time, I've got it Chino Hills 26-14. Over at Mesa, Coach Glenn Fisher and the Mustangs are also hoping to bounce back from a loss last week, and they return home to Mustang Field, where they face a Loera squad fresh off of last week's season-opening victory against Estancia. For Loera, it was only their second victory since the 2013 season, but this year's team is definitely better than recent years. The Mustangs lost last week to Santiago, who basically just wore the Mustangs down, running the ball on all but 7 offensive plays and totaling 272 yards on the ground, including 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns that put the game out of reach. The Mustangs have shown some flashes at times through their first 2 games, but have not been able to sustain them quite yet. And while I think it's a winnable game tomorrow night, I've got Loera winning this one 27-13. Across town at Estancia, Coach Mike Vargas and the Estancia Eagles are 0-1 for the first time since 2013. And while last week's loss to Loera surprised many, I think I was more surprised by how they lost. I know this is an improved Loera team, but giving up 39 points has to sound some alarm bells. And they gave up yards and points on the ground, through the air, and on special teams. At quarterback, senior Vincent Duarte and sophomore Jason Cash split the snaps, and Coach Vargas is hopeful that one of them steps up soon and settles in as the clear-cut number 1. This week, they face a team that definitely has just that. El Dorado starting quarterback Jack Strauss returns following last year's All-League season, and I believe he will be the difference maker this week. The Estancia defense gets tested again, and the Golden Hawks soar past the Eagles 31-20. That's it. My Fearlessly Foolish football predictions for Week 2 are now official. Remember, all 3 teams play at home tomorrow night, so here's hoping you can make it out to support your favorite one of them. And that's Costa Mesa High School football today in a few minutes. Remember, if it happens on the gridiron in Costa Mesa, it's news to us. I'm Dane Bora. I'll see you tomorrow.